What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 33 of the XtraSlice, brought to you by the Cheesy Controller Podcast. I'm your host, Anton LaPlatte. Joining me, as always, we have the mayor of Stardew Valley and Eorzea, Chris Montalbano.
What's up, everybody?
We got the most degenerate squid in the sea, Jalen Roberts.
Just play Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
And the Akatsuki Durag, Madrid Devon.
Usually I have like a quip or like a cool saying, but no, wear a fucking mask and wear that shit above your nose. Your nose shouldn't be peeking. I shouldn't be playing hide and go seek with your fucking nose.
Alright. And we have the board game developer, Anthony Myers.
What Jalen said.
We got a jam-packed episode for you guys this week. We're going to be talking about Elite, we're going to be talking about Fatalis, we're going to be talking about Resident Evil Village, and we're going to be talking about these RTX 30 series cards that Nvidia just dropped on us.
Bam. Let's go.
Alright, so Anthony, we have you on as our guest. Who are you and what do you do? Like, how did you appear on our podcast?
Who is this guy? I was given a card by Jalen over there for Anton. I got in touch with him, and now I'm here, and it's going to be fun. But I'm from South Carolina. Now I live in Atlanta. I'm a high school math teacher and an avid board gamer. And a couple years ago, I started a project to make my own board game, and that's what's brought me to here.
All right, so your board game is called Elite. It looks like a tactical tabletop role-playing game, and I watched your video on Kickstarter for it, but for anybody listening, how would you describe Elite to just a random person?
Absolutely. The easiest way to describe it that I like to tell people is it was inspired by a couple things, but mainly three games. Risk was the game of my childhood growing up.
Yes.
I couldn't get away from the global domination map.
Yes.
And then the classic Settlers of Catan.
Yes.
With resources just getting tossed left and right. But then this is what changed it for me, changed the game, so to speak. When I first played the game by Stonemeyer called Scythe, and I learned about controlled resource production, where my resources weren't just getting thrown at me because I had good luck on the dice. That changed everything. So I thought, what if we had a game that was based on the real world, but the resource production, so it kind of looks like Catan, like you're producing resources, but I get to actually be an arbiter and choose where I'm producing resources and then decide what to do with from there. So that's the idea. The map, if you go and check it out, the map is based on kind of real natural exports, fuels over here, agriculture over there, and you move around the board and get some stuff done, kind of form this big empire.
Okay.
I'm with it.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That
I
was
want to make my
something
evil corporation and take over the world.
I
Do it,
definitely
do it.
saw
You
the
can be
video, and
tyrannical.
I was saying that this looks totally up you guys' alley. I'm really glad. I was like, of course it's Jalen. It's like tabletop games. Jalen is all over it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big fan of tabletop. I'm a big fan of the heavy stuff too. I mean, if someone wants to sit down and and play little fun games that make everyone laugh, that's good too. They can have their fun, but I like the 2 to 4 hour type stuff. Those are the good times.
This is where you bond and break friendships.
No, friendships stop and then restart at the end. Stop at the beginning and
Look,
restart.
we were
Everything
friends
between
until
is
you
just
invaded
acting.
my nation. Now we're
It's
not.
acting.
Especially
Exactly.
Oof.
Especially in Risk. Absolutely. Yeah. Fortification. Oh my goodness, that changes everything. So yeah, it's over on Kickstarter, and in the website's eliteboardgame.com.
Yeah, check them out. That
Yeah.
shit sounds dope.
So yeah, local Atlanta.
It was fun
game.
because that's exactly what I was going to say. It was fun because I developed it here and got to play test it with just Atlanteans just all over the city, going to gaming shops and cafes and pizza places and getting real cheesy.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a question that our guests usually get, and I kind of prepped you for it ahead of time. But what is your favorite video game of all time for the listeners?
That is a great question, and it is very close. I must say, it's very close. But number one, I was thinking about it more. Which one is number one? Number one is gonna be Knights of the Old Republic for Xbox. I wasn't kidding earlier when I said what Jalen said. Just play that.
Yes,
Just play that.
That is. Bioware made a good RPG
when it came out.
day.
When it came out on, I kid you not, when it came out on iPad as an app, I bought that so fast. I would have bought that for so much money and just replayed it many, many times.
I still haven't played the first one.
Do it.
Do it.
It completely ruins episode 8 harder than episode 8 already did.
Damn.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get them both and then like replay the second one first and then the first one because the first one's better. So I'm like.
Well,
I never
the
played
second
it.
one was
Yeah.
made by Obsidian, and Obsidian is known for making great sequels with not enough time and budget. That's
Pretty much.
That's just what it is.
When somebody told me it was incomplete, I was like, that makes sense. I loved it, but that makes sense. It was really fucking dope. Like the characters, the settings, and that's why I really enjoyed playing Outer Worlds because it's like look what we could have done, except for with the Star Wars skin.
All right. So, what was your number 2? You said you had a top 2 going.
Number two. That's right. Metal Gear Solid 2, PlayStation 2. That's the next one right after that.
Really? Metal Gear Solid 2. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. All the dog tags. Get all the dog tags.
Oh, man. It's weird how that game just became real life.
Yeah, I mean,
So
Kojima has legitimately just been predicting the future. We're only a few years off from Silent Hills. Like, we're currently in the Death Stranding era. Like, he predicted so much through, like, the Metal Gear series. Like,
I mean, heck, Metal Gear Solid 2 talks about how it's not about truth, it's about context.
Facts. And the thing is, Silent Hill has been going on the entire time. It always has been.
No.
That's how we got here.
Just in me now if Silent Hill happens. I'm like,
Bro, all times, it's fucking going down.
Nobody. 2020.
Would anything surprise you at this point?
if I saw a Pyramid Head walking down my street.
Would it be Pyramid Head, though? I don't think that's a representation of your trauma. That's the thing.
If I saw... I don't know. Fuck. If I saw anything
Instead of a
like
pyramid, it'd be a giant chef's knife for Chris.
I'm like, that's fine. I know how to. I got knife skills. That's fine.
Do you have knife skills as in using a knife or being attacked by a knife? Because I feel like those are two very different skill sets.
We'll see. I will either be cut in half or go to work the next day with a dope ass new knife. Either way, I'm not mad.
He's trying to fight the giant kitchen knife man.
So
yeah, what do you do for work? Can I ask that, Chris? What do you do for work?
Currently, I'm a left line cook, aspiring chef. So, working to eventually own my own spot.
Oh, so yeah, you legitimately would take the knife in.
Yeah,
You'd literally take it into work. Got it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure in any other profession, just showing up with a giant knife would be kind of frowned upon.
Yo, this is just the plot of Chainsaw Man.
I guess I gotta watch that.
Well, it's not.
Oh, you gotta read it.
Yeah, you gotta read it. That's Shonen Jump at, man. Like, it's been coming through super clutch lately. But
I think I'm one chapter behind on Chainsaw Man because of what happened last chapter.
It looks like it hurt. What happened?
Yo, man, apparently it did hurt. Yeah, we're not gonna spoil it, but
Look. Basically, what happened is that the true villain took the stage, and none of us was ready for it.
Oh yes, I
Yo,
remember
that's all that
in the
happened.
Discord.
Yo, I'll put it like this: shouts out to Ian Pressure over at OK Beast and A Plus Anime. Like, he came through in the Discord, and we have just been like bouncing back insane Chainsaw Man theories and dialogue, and that shit has been hitting. You know, so
So anybody who's following this conversation, listening along, join the Discord Anime Spoilers channel. Apparently, it's been going down.
It's been going off. I don't know. I'll even hop in that channel and just not know anything, but the reactions are funny.
No, I have all the spoiler channels muted, and it's just like I go in there if I need to just express something and have that conversation, and then just leave because there's just so many series I'm behind on that they're just completely spoiling in there. So I can't do it to myself. But Chris, what have you been on?
But my
week?
hero.
Yeah, my hero.
You know.
So the same thing I've always been on. I'm now 2 weeks into being back addicted to 14, except that I'm stuck on a main story quest that I have to play as a dragoon. Einstein. I messed this up before we recorded the episode and accidentally said another name that sounds like Einstein. You get my drift.
See, out of all the ways you could mistake his name, because I used to call him Einstein.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Look, dragoons don't make good decisions. That's pretty much the moral of the story.
Neither did that guy. But so yeah, I'm there and I'm having to force to like these 4 buttons I have to press. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a black mage. I don't go up. I stay back and shoot fireballs at people. This is
and
not
stand in the AoE.
No, I run away from AoEs and sharp cast or
Allegedly.
Well, he was fine.
I don't know. I've
We all
seen
know
the
your
movie.
lane line is sitting there in the AoE, and I know where you want to be.
We are playing 14 with the boys as of recently, and you know I'm not that bad at AoEs. To be fair, they're all leveling quests that are level like 15 and 20.
Aren't these like a third of the level? Don't you have like? Didn't you lose like 3/5 of your rotation?
3/5. I pressed 2 buttons now. It was that bad, but yeah, that's where I'm at 14. I'm having a love-hate relationship, so I get so frustrated that I even just go play Rocket League, which is crazy to say because I can't get frustrated.
Did you see the Rocket League? Apparently, we're getting close to it going free to play. Apparently, you can wishlist it on the Epic Games Store now. So, like, we're actually getting close to the release of that. And you said what?
I have it on all platforms, but that includes all DLC, right?
Well, so if you've played the game up until now, most of the DLC that's in the game you're getting for free wherever you play. So anybody who's played Rocket League before this is going to be getting all the DLC. But then on top of that, we're getting cross progression. So hopefully they let us sync all our accounts and let us use all our cosmetics from every platform on whatever platform we're playing on. But they still haven't gone into detail on that. But they have clarified that once it goes free to play, you won't need Xbox Live Gold. Oh wait, no. It's not Xbox Live Gold. It's Nintendo Switch Online or PlayStation Plus, because it'll be classified as a free to play game. Like you can play it on PlayStation even if you don't have PlayStation Plus.
I really need that cross progression because I played it for the first time on my Xbox because my Xbox is in my living room where my computer isn't, and I was so over playing games on my PC after rage quitting from 14 that I had to go play like Rocket League on another system that I've never played it on, and I have nothing, and it looks terrible. I got orange and blue. That's all I got for my car.
So basic.
It's
No
so
animated paint jobs. No.
Playing at like level 1 and quick play is. I felt so bad.
Were you getting shit on, or were you just?
I was destroying. I was like, "This is what it feels like to have a Smurf account."
All right, so Chris, I saw this story. I feel like you could give the most context to. Resident Evil 8 Village is going to be at Tokyo Game Show this week. What do you think we're going to get from the team? Like, considering how long it's been since we last got news on that game, the last time we heard from it, wasn't it the State of Play where it was announced?
We got it at E3, or fake E3, whatever it was.
Summer Game Fest.
Summer Games Fest. And we got a solid look of like the enemies. We got kind of the new story, a gist of what was going on. So I honestly have no idea what they're going to say, because they normally don't talk about much when it comes to new Resident Evil games. Like remake, I mean, obviously remake, they showed the trailer and that was it. Resident Evil 7, they had a couple of trailers, but that was it. I feel like they're going to show more for this new game.
Didn't they drop 3 different demos? Or let me phrase, didn't they update the same demo 3 times?
Yeah, they gave you a demo after the first one, and then they updated it to where you could do new things over and over.
Yeah, they added VR compatibility.
Yeah, but I don't know.
And they finally added in what you could do with the finger.
No, there was never a thing you can do with the finger. The finger's a lie. The finger was just the bullshit thing you can pick up. It was, I mean, if you bought the collector's edition, you get the finger and it's a USB, so that's cool. But yeah, the finger in game, don't pick it up.
Was it like a real fleshy finger?
No, it was like a mannequin finger. Yeah.
So it wasn't like a severed human finger. Like the whole time you guys were saying that, I thought like
finger.
Yeah, so it made it look like it was going to be a puzzle that you picked this up and everybody went through like every inch of this part of the like, lower floor of the mannequin.
Missing a finger.
Yeah, and you were like, what does this do? Nothing. Not a damn thing. To waste your time. But as far as Village goes, I have no idea what they're gonna like. I guess because they haven't released a demo, they're gonna show more. But they've kind of showed everything they need to for this game. That if they show any more, I'm gonna be like,
do we have a date yet for it? Since I wasn't following it through the Summer Game Fest news, like
I think it's this the 27th.
No, I'm saying the date for the game.
Oh, the date for the game is next year in February. I don't quote me on what date, but I'm pretty sure they have said it's early 2021. Okay. Which they have either gone between January and February for the last 4 years now.
Okay.
But yeah, I just hope they don't show something that ruins it.
Well, I mean,
I kind of like where they got the like mystery of the story. Well, I don't know, like something why Chris is now evil and possibly killed Ethan's wife.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean, heck.
He definitely did that. He didn't leave her.
Hey man, this game might set up that Netflix show.
No. Wesker's still alive. Wesker's dead at this point in the game. Or it's like the Netflix show is about his kids, right? But Wesker's still alive in the show?
I just saw people approving of it. And I was like,
I don't know.
Wait. Okay, I know Wesker had a son, and his son was into suplexing bioweapons. Right. That's the only thing I remember about him. He threw hands and he suplexed bioweapons.
I heard people reading the script.
And fuck yeah.
I heard people reading the script, and it's all about Wesker's kids trying to figure out what Wesker was doing. Oh, great. Just another adaptation of this video game that you're just going to screw up.
Why couldn't the show just be Revelations?
Exactly. Just, I don't know. Just why are you making Resident Evil again into a cinematic you're probably just going to ruin the story?
Because Netflix need content, not quality content, more content.
I would like quality content when it came to my favorite video game.
Right? But it doesn't really matter when someone's just going to watch The Office for the millionth time.
I mean, that's not me on Netflix.
I was like,
I can zip you the link to submit your complaint to Netflix. I'm sure they'll change it up.
Yeah, you're right. I'm like, you just let me write it. I know all of the story.
You know, let anybody else write it.
Just go to the Resident Evil subreddit and we got you.
If you wanted to make a show about Wesker, just make it about Wesker. Set it right before RE1 and just have him maniacally set up everything of RE1.
That would be a solid show. I would watch the fuck out of that.
All right. Well, while we're on Resident Evil, I want to stay in the Capcom realm. Allegedly, so known Capcom like accurate leaker, I can't I should have written his name down somewhere. But there was a leak that there's going to be a new Monster Hunter game built specifically for the Switch in the RE engine, because apparently they got the RE engine to function on the Switch, and trying to get Resident Evil 7 running on the Switch, but they couldn't get it running. But the work that they did getting the engine over, apparently they're going to do a new Monster Hunter game for the Switch in the RE engine, which...
What? How does a new Monster Hunter game run, but you can't make Resident Evil 7 run?
Well, I mean, Monster Hunter's been able... the thing is, Monster Hunter is built on a... Well, Monster Hunter is built on the backbone of, a 3DS game. So you can get it to,
That's
they
true.
could add all the quality of life stuff they added with Monster Hunter World and are continuously adding to Monster Hunter World. They could take all those systems, layer them on top of a game like Generations Ultimate that's already running on the Switch, build it in the RE engine so it'll look better than that, and we just got a whole new Monster Hunter game. So, and
also I feel like it would be easier to get a third-person action game working on a Switch than a first-person game. I just feel like that would just be significantly easier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. Because at first person, you have to think about the details of going into what you're seeing.
And I mean, if you really want to play Resident Evil 7 on the Switch, you can. You just need a Japanese eShop account, and they have it available for streaming. So you can stream the game to your Switch from servers in Japan if you really, really, really want to play Resident Evil 7 on Switch.
I haven't even played it on my PC.
So, yeah, this Monster Hunter... This news is coming right as Monster Hunter World is finally winding down. The final, real content update is going to be October 1st. September 30th for us over here in the States, just because of time zone differences. And they're bringing back the Black Dragon Fatalis. So... this hunt, I've been playing Monster Hunter. I'm trying to platinum the base game before Fatalis drops. I have 4 trophies left. I got to do 50 arena quests, do all the large crowns, all of the small crowns, and max out my investigation level for every monster. But I have, literally crazy person notes over here. Again, I'm back on the Fortnite deal of trying to complete all my challenges of what monsters I have and need small and large crowns for. And there's an event, considering all the event quests are up, I've just been running. That's one of the reasons I was kind of late into the call. I was going to call earlier, but I was doing an event quest to try and get the crowns I needed out of the Wildspire Waste. And I actually got a Giratota small crown out of it. So,
nice.
100% worth it. But yeah, Monster Hunter... For anybody who doesn't know, if you get Monster Hunter now, Monster Hunter, its final update will be on the 1st. We still have a Halloween event coming on the 16th of October. And between now and then, there's almost non-stop festivals. So you can run every event quest. Now's a really good time to get in. Especially if you know you haven't knocked out certain... if you haven't done Safi Jiva, if you haven't done Kulf to Roth, Master Rank, if you haven't done your small or large crowns, if you haven't... It's a really good time to just hop in and get a lot done. Alright, so the other thing, before we move on to Jalen, because I feel like Jalen and Chris have the most to contribute to this conversation, Nvidia announced their RTX 30 series cards.
Yes, they did.
And so one of the things that's interesting, apparently, so the 20 series cards added a lot of new features like ray tracing and RTX audio and a lot of these things that these graphics cards can do, but they weren't running games as stably as they could, especially with stuff like ray tracing on. You couldn't get a 4K 60 ray trace game to run even on a 2080 Ti.
Yeah. I mean, I got a 2070.
But once again, remember, ray tracing as of now is getting your specs up to 4K without a 4K monitor.
Yeah.
And a lot of the games haven't been built with that yet.
That's true.
Yet.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there are a lot of games, especially through modding, games are getting official ray tracing support. And I mean, with the new consoles coming this year, both consoles support ray tracing. So and it doesn't matter, even if you're running a 1080 monitor, you can see the graphical effects of ray tracing in any game. Like, you could look at these videos on YouTube and just see, like, your computer can't, like, actually render these things, but you can watch ray traced videos on YouTube right now, like, where they added ray tracing support to games that didn't have it previously, and it's actually is powering these games to look a lot better. So it's not something that right now is super important, but it's something that within the next 6 months definitely will be super important.
Yes, but for me it depends on, will the art style really benefit from it? Because as of right now, like, it's pretty much just upscaling.
Yeah.
You're just taking something, like, I want to see them really, really get, like, the art style in with this. Like, I don't want... I'm tired of everything trying to look photorealistic. If you can make things photorealistic, now you can make things realistically weird. Make my grass red, make my sky the color of, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Play Control.
Whatever.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Control...
Like, this looks really good.
Control is one of those PC
Control's
showcases.
a good example of that.
Yeah.
Some of the other biomes in Horizon on PC is like that. I'm just saying as of now.
But, like, Horizon on PC...
to see what they can do with it.
Horizon on PC doesn't support ray tracing, but Control is one of the ray tracing showcase games on PC. Like, and that's a game that relies heavily on the art style. Look at Minecraft ray trace. Like, Minecraft is like one thing, but Minecraft with ray tracing on is a whole different beast. And like Fortnite's getting it, and Fortnite even looks Fortnite like already looks good on my PC.
I don't see the point in doing that for Fortnite.
Why?
Because
like, ray tracing just makes every game look better. I have not seen a single game. I was saying that
to Jalen. Why don't you see the point in it?
I don't see the point in because a lot of times when I'm playing when I'm playing more competitive shooters, I will purposely lower my graphics settings to get better performance out of my PC because I need that frame rate. Especially when especially with something like Fortnite, where you see people, they'll flinch and build a Taj Mahal. I need that little bit of extra power so I can build just a bit faster.
But with this card, though, wouldn't you not have to sacrifice that?
Yeah, that's the thing with these 30 series cards. You're not sacrificing.
My worry about the cards, though, is I don't know if my power bank is going to be able to supply them cards. Those cards are more power than the card I have now.
What power bank do you have?
I don't remember.
Dude, I think as long as
power banks are one of the components in the PC that will like outlast the test of time. Like,
right, and that's the thing.
If
you have an 850 watt power supply in your computer, you can power this card. And if you have anything lower than an 850 watt power supply, you need to upgrade that regardless.
Like, you should have upgraded that before you had like 1080 in the high 10s to anything 20s series.
Right, so...
Yeah, but usually when people are upgrading their PC, that's usually one of the last things. And you're right, it's because an 800, but do I have an 800 in mind?
I think you do.
Yeah,
you either have a 750 or 800.
So yeah, you'd probably need to upgrade for this graphics card, but a power supply is something that, like, you invest in it and then you're done with it, you know?
Yeah. And they got the cool ones where you can make a modular. They got gold trim so it lasts even longer than like your random, like your everyday power supply. So
they have storage built into it.
Yeah, like I upgraded my power supply when I got the 2070 because they highly recommended it, and I was like, okay. And they were like, just get this one. It's not super expensive, but it will last you. You won't have to upgrade for years. You'll upgrade every other component in this PC before you even decide to upgrade this one.
Right, and that currently right now my bottleneck, I'm really thinking of upgrading my CPU, and and then doing my graphics card, even though I feel like there's so much more that I could get done with a better graphics card sooner than I would with a better CPU.
You have a Ryzen 5, right?
Yeah, but it's a 1600X. So it's a few generations old at this point, and like the performance I'd get even for a CPU that costs the same now would just be like, I'd get like 3 times the CPU performance out of a similarly priced card now. So, or CPU, not card, but
yeah, you honestly should look into, because Robbie just said in the chat that you will throttle your GPU with a bad CPU. You should honestly think about doing a CPU before you upgrade your GPU.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of doing a CPU alongside my PS5, because my PS5 is going to give me my ray trace games. It's going to give me my super fast SSD. It's like I game still primarily on my PS4, even though I have my PC over here with Monster Hunter where it runs better and looks better. I'm still 400 hours short of gameplay on 430 hours short of gameplay on PC that I just have put in on PS4 just with Monster Hunter. So
yeah,
and I mean with the PS5, what's up, Anthony?
I thought that was an interesting conversation. That Jalen said, the conversation that could happen about the art. I was watching the video on the card, and it just seems like the growth in the technology is so nuanced at this point that you're looking for more innovation in the art side of it, Jalen. Innovation or creativity. That's pretty
exactly,
point.
Because it's like so many games are like, we want to be as photorealistic as possible, and it's like cool. But if we can get that level of realism, we should be getting weird with it. Like, where are my inverted space stations and all the weird non-Euclidean geometry and bullshit? Like,
but I feel like ray tracing enhances even games that, like Ratchet and Clank, is getting ray traced reflections. Like Minecraft has it, Control has it, but then stuff like Battlefield 5 has it, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare has it. It's just something that overall, it's a technology that helps developers realize their vision without extra work.
Yeah.
But the question is, are they going to do it?
Well, I mean, people are.
Again,
now they have...
look at like all the biggest games from last generation. Most of them have been your traditional photorealistic video games. Spider-Man, Horizon, God of War, most Assassin's Creed since ever.
Animal Crossing has been one of the literally best-selling video games of almost all time. Like, it's one of the fastest-selling video games of all time, and nothing about that game is photorealistic.
That's my point. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for that for other...
But like ray-traced Animal Crossing would be cool because those lighting effects would amplify even the art style of that game. Like, that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't argue against...
amplify it, but it's one of those things where it's like, are we going to amplify the same photorealism we've been getting for 8 years?
I mean, obviously, if photorealism is coming out, then yeah, it's going to be amplified. But you're going to have... Now that ray tracing is now being
standardized.
Standardized. Then you're gonna get it in other gaming genres that you don't normally see.
But we say that every single time we get a technology boost,
and then it eventually
doesn't happen.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But the other thing about that is it's our obsession with like realism in art, just in general, and like the art world kind of speaks to the video game world. So the art director is like, make this shit as realistic as possible, as opposed to let's make it weird. We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more of that. So that kind of just plays with the climate and less about the technology.
That's true.
So you got to take that shit up with your devs, dog.
Yeah, another point is like,
yo, drop some acid, get weird. Like,
I mean, I want to go back to the days where Capcom was doing all the cocaine and making a fighting game where you got to use an actual NASCAR.
Bro, that new Psychonauts being ray traced, that was
okay. See, now there we go.
See, now we're talking, right?
See, now we're talking.
All right,
and it's coming to PC, so it can happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Nvidia on
Microsoft Flight Simulator, part of that being photorealistic is one of the like upsides, and if they add ray tracing support to that game, that would just make
Please don't.
Yo, slap some mods on it. Slap a colorful, slap a JoJo's mod on it, and have just like that color scheme going. That would be pretty nuts.
I don't want to talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Why? What's been going on with it, Chris?
My computer sucks. It crashes. It can't handle it. No, apparently I did some research, and Microsoft, every time they come out with a flight simulator, they're like, we're not making this game for
their crisis?
Yeah, they're not making a game for right now. They're making a game for the future. So you with your 2070, that sucks, dude. You're not going to really like have a good time. You're going to have to put all of the graphics qualities down and wait until you can get a 30 series.
And sell Anton your 20 series.
Heard.
I mean, heck. The best part about those cards, though, is the price. Like,
the
price on those cards,
100%.
Like, that is what snapped my neck.
What was it? It was like
the 2080, the 80 Ti last time was like 12.
Yeah, 12, almost $1,300 for a 2080 Ti.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like
you have the 20.
The 380 is not even $1,000.
The 380 is $699, and then I want to say the 370 is $499, and which is like in the 370s. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, anybody who's really like trying to clout or whatever flex on any other PC is going to get the 390, which is
the 30
going from the 3090, which is like going from $699 with the 380 to $1,499. That was like the hugest jump, which I know this card looks like a beast. It's like 1/3 times the size of the other card. Like,
yeah, but that's also because of the SSD compartment in it.
Yeah, there's reasons why it costs that much, and
honestly, Jalen, you said earlier, I remember saying, oh, these ultra-fast SSDs that are going to enhance graphics, PC's going to eventually have to copy the consoles on this aspect, and this is legitimately, like, I remember last time there was an Nvidia showcase, you guys were like, why are you watching this? Like, I'm like, this is going to be our best look at...
But the big thing that changed my opinion on this is back then we were talking about a $1,200 card versus a $400 card.
Yeah.
You cut that price by 2/3, everything changes.
Yeah, but the reason I was watching it was because I was like, oh, this will be our best look at what next gen gaming's going to bring us. And so with ray tracing, that is something that both the Xbox Series X and the PS5 are going to support out the box. Like, both systems have already announced games that support ray tracing. And so I watched that presentation, and then now I watch this one, and I see them bringing in the SSD component that I said that they would copy from the consoles on the PC market. So,
I mean, but the thing about it is, it's like, I feel like that's just an Ouroboros eating itself, because it's like consoles get SSD, and no, PCs get SSD, consoles get SSD into the RAM, and then consoles get SSD in the RAM.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how westerns eat off samurai films, and samurai films ate off spaghetti westerns.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jalen, what you been on this week before we spend the rest of this episode arguing about graphics cards?
Other than Final Fantasy 14, while Chris was getting frustrated, I was just making... What? I was cooking. That's the Disciple of Hand I was working on.
Oh, nice.
I was doing culinary. Because I need more... in Final Fantasy 14, food gives you a 30-minute 3% EXP boost. And so I need a lot of food. And you could buy it, or you could just make it with a Disciple of the Hand, with Culinarian. And
do you make significant gil off of that?
Culinarian, not as much. Culinarian's better to get you to help you level your other classes for that EXP boost.
Yeah.
What's going to get you money, it's going to be like leatherworking, weaving, goldsmithing, and blacksmithing.
Oh, okay.
And alchemy for the high-level potions.
Tight.
Those are the ones that make money. But also, I've been making my way through Persona 2. Innocent Sin.
On Vita?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
How was that treating you?
That game's good. That story's amazing. Like,
What's going on in the story right now?
so the basic plot is rumors are coming true. And there's a mysterious being named Joker who wants you dead for something that you did that you don't know about yet.
Sounds like Joker.
So it's pretty much Archer Emiya coming back to kill Emiya in Unlimited Blade Works. It's Persona Unlimited Blade Works.
Imagine sucking so hard that you go back in time to kill yourself.
Look, I'm just saying, Archer never. I've gone through all 3 routes in Fate Stay Night. Archer does not have a good time in any of them. Like, his happiest route is Unlimited Blade Works. Just straight up. Just straight up. Because I'll tell you right now, Heaven's Field does not end well for you, boy.
Damn.
But,
I still need to watch that one.
Yeah, but Persona 2 might actually end up being my favorite Persona game. Strangely enough.
Really?
I feel like
Yeah.
you really need to beat Persona 5 before you can make that claim.
Nah,
Is it that
When you-
empty for 2?
When you know,
Huh?
you know.
Is it
like
that empty
it's a
for 2?
feeling I get. It's a feeling I get. It's one of the things I like about 2 that the social links. I don't know. I like the fact that the plot is streamlined. It's just your JRPG plot. Like, you don't have the day system. I enjoy the day system, but I like the fact that I can just go through the plot without going, like, how should I put this?
It doesn't
So
have the
with-
life simulator attached
Yeah,
to it?
the life simulator isn't in there. This is just like your straight RPG. So I like the fact that it's like I don't have these gaps of time where where I just want to get through the story, but I can't. But I have to do social stuff because I finished my dungeon 20 days early, so I have nothing to do story-wise for a while. Like, I like hanging out and handling all those stats, but I also like just being able to go through the plot. Especially with this motherfucker after me. This game is great.
So it's like closer
good.
to an SMT, just with a different battle system.
Well, this one still has the SMT in its name.
Right. That was my point. So is that what's going on with it? Is that why it's hitting harder than the other personas?
Yeah,
For you?
I really think it's just the fact that the social aspect of Persona, while I do love it, slows down the narrative a bit. Because you'll get to these points where it's like nothing's going on. Like, that was like with
That's
3.
true.
That was the biggest problem with 3. 3 stories beats only happen at the beginning and end of each month.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
With 4, you have a deadline, but if you complete that early, you still have a lot of downtime.
So much downtime.
5, heck, I'd be completing the palace within the first 4 days.
Yeah.
So I'd end up with like 2 weeks worth of downtime.
Yeah. That's kind of why I fucked with it, though, so I can get that full immersion, so I can live that life that I've always wanted. But I do get wanting to just play through the actual game. So it makes sense.
And I
will say
feel
that
like-
5 did add a lot of other things that will make you interested in the downtime instead of like waiting for the next story event to happen.
Like,
Compared
that's
to,
so cool.
4,
Like,
where you were just like, I'm trying to waste time.
yeah, and I really appreciate the fact that, like, all that other, like, useless bullshit that you do,
Mhm.
like, really impacts on, like, your character's stats and how you can play the game.
Mhm.
I was like, wow, this is way to gamify that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are all things I appreciate, but also I was just like going through the story because it's like things that's like happening back to back to back. It's like
Inject it.
first you're dealing with the school's curse, and you're like, wait, we need actual weapons. There's no weapon shops around. So you make up a rumor that if you order the banana curry from the ramen shop, they'll take you in the back and sell you a bunch of guns.
That's kind of dope, though.
Like, I haven't finished it, but this Persona 2 is lit. Innocent Sin is real good.
Nice.
And then I got a whole sequel waiting for me afterwards.
All right. So has that been it for you this week, Jalen?
Pretty much.
All right, Madrid, what you been on this week?
So oddly enough, I was helping y'all do your Monster Hunter Platinum Trophy grind. I really don't care to do it, so I was just kind of doing it, like passively, just with get some hunting in with the boys since it's about to end, and I'm thinking about picking up Final Fantasy 14.
Do it.
Like, there's so much stuff left to do in the game. Like, I legitimately just hit Master Rank 100, and I just beat Ruiner Gigante, and I just beat Furious Rajang. I still have Elatrion. I still have Fatalis. I still...
I still got tons of shit to do, too. But I'm going to do it.
There's a lot to do in 14, too, so, like...
That's the thing. I want to, like, experience some of 14's lore and, like...
It's
like that. 'Cause they pull from everything Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy core. You gotta go for it.
You gotta go for it. You just gotta do it.
It's so good. Do it.
It's so good.
And Nier, you can't fucking
Nier?
slap a Nier skin on it. I've been thinking about replaying Nier, especially with like the state of the world. I feel like Nier just
It'll
really
hit.
might.
Actually, when is Replicant coming out?
That's a good question. I feel like that might be a
Also-
September game.
Like, let me play Pretty Boy Replicant. Come on. Oh, I should actually. I want to interrupt. The fact that Western producers decided to replace that pretty boy with that weird old man for Nier
Okay, we
still
don't.
doesn't make any sense.
nobody gets it.
We don't have a release date for Nier yet, so it's probably going to be into next gen. Like, I don't see it coming out between now and the end of the year. So, if you want that Nier fix, you could either play 14 or replay Nier Automata,
Or Sinnoh Alice.
or or you could play more Sinnoh Alice.
I have been playing a lot of Sinnoh Alice.
I definitely
you?
haven't.
Yeah, same. That music
know.
is just so good though. It plays in my mind sometimes. Like the battle theme.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So, anything else
Shit,
this
that's
week?
basically
Madrid?
been all. Yeah, that's been about it. Like a little Overwatch. It's not really hitting anymore. It's went through that cycle of hitting back to not hitting.
Mm-hmm.
And actually,
Yeah.
Apex really hasn't been hitting for me lately either. I don't know what it is.
You're out of the shooter phase. You're not feeling it right now. We're going into fall. You want something with more depth. It's cuffing season.
Yeah, a little thicker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, also, Final Fantasy is sitting right here, disc and console, ready for me to finish it.
Oh, not 14.
No,
It's
no,
like,
not
we can hop off this podcast right now. Let's run some shit.
He wants
I
to get
think
the
I have
dailies.
game
He
time.
wants the
I'm not-
healer cues.
I'm
I
not
know
sure.
what he wants. He wants some healer cues.
Yo,
I
I
do.
gotta download that shit, bro. I wouldn't be able to play tonight. Maybe not even tomorrow night.
It's faster than we
Once you
think.
download the game, you have to go download the version from the actual site.
Just download the game. It's got an updater in it.
I don't know. I remember having to download it twice the last time. That's what took me so long deleting it. And that whole time I was like, "Don't do this," but I'm like, "I need the space."
All right, so this
Been it
week,
for me, man. Slow week.
yeah, this week. I mean, it's really just been for me Monster Hunter crown grinding, completely disregarding people who try and get me to play Overwatch. I mean,
Fall Guys?
no, I haven't even played Fall Guys. Like, that's the thing. Oh, I did play Fortnite. I got my battle pass this season up to tier 50. Man, these Marvel skins are hitting on a different level. Like, this season is just made for the part of me that just loves Marvel stuff in Fortnite.
I will say, I almost considered re-downloading Fortnite for that Storm costume.
Yeah, that was the only
my
thing that almost got me was Storm.
I was like,
I'm
my
close
girl
to
Storm
unlocking
and
it.
one of my favorite villains, Doom,
Yeah.
looking right.
Doom's the next one I unlock after Storm. You start off, you
You got
unlock
Doom.
Thor, you unlock She-Hulk, you unlock Groot, then you unlock Storm, then Doctor Doom, then Mystique, then I want to say after that's Iron Man. But I mean, like, it's a pretty solid cast. Like, they have Silver Surfer. If you got Deadpool a few seasons ago, like, Deadpool's in there. Silver Surfer's in there. Wolverine, his challenges aren't all unlocked yet, but you can unlock Wolverine. Like, if you're a Marvel fan, I really feel like this season, because, I mean, it's a continuation of an arc they started in the comics. So the Nexus War is, like, actually Marvel comic canon right now that people are playing in Fortnite. So if...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, this game's in a really good state. I didn't really like the last season. I didn't play much. Like, I didn't unlock Aquaman. I didn't do any of that stuff. But I feel like with all the stuff that they added Marvel related, the game's in a really good state, and the map looks really cool. It's no longer flooded. Like, there's a Sentinel graveyard. You start off on the helicarrier. There are Quinjets flying in as the battle bus starts to go across the map. Like, it's a lot of really cool stuff that, like, Marvel fans, especially fans of the comics, will appreciate from it. Especially since none of us right now are playing the Avengers game. That, like, if you paid for the expensive version, you could be playing
People
right
like
now.
it.
No, but apparently, like, I played it just for the Fortnite stuff.
I've been hearing people liked it.
Yeah, apparently, like, reviews are about to come in, and, like, the sentiment seems to be overwhelmingly positive, which is confusing to me as somebody who played a couple hours of the beta. To try.
Yeah, everybody's saying it's better than the beta because, like, you get, like, more story shit. You get more. You're more immersed in it. Like, you're more invested, as opposed to just like, here's some weird story parts and here's some forced multiplayer. So, I mean, I'm not gonna pick it up. One
bit of comic book lore gripe with it is the fact that they don't call Kamala an Inhuman, and it's like, is Marvel truly giving up on the Inhumans?
Wasn't there an Inhumans movie announced?
That died. Okay, first it was a movie, and then it became a TV show, and that TV show got canceled.
Damn.
It was bad.
I mean, I'll admit, this is what happens when you're designed to replace the X-Men. But also,
you just can't do it. You can't top the X-Men.
But also, Marvel doesn't want the X-Men.
Yeah, they do. That's the number one thing they need.
Yeah, they do. They just got it back.
You've made this argument so many times that Marvel is trying to phase out the X-Men.
No, they undid that. That happened a while ago. They've undid that a while ago.
Yeah, that's why, like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 had the X-Men. That's why the X-Men are in this Fortnite season that's going on with the comics. The X-Men are probably going to be introduced into the MCU in the next phase, especially with everything getting delayed.
I think the MCU should die.
No, the MCU...
No, like, I think at this point we should go back to our standalone movies.
Well, I mean, the entire next phase was all standalone movies and Disney Plus TV shows. Like, it's all contained stories around these characters that using a medium that fits the character better. So, like,
okay,
for the movies, they're doing Doctor Strange and the Universe of Madness.
Didn't its director leave in the middle of that, though?
I mean,
that's having that's having
second, maybe
development problems.
Well, just a lot of the things that were conceptualized that, like, even the Asgardians of the Galaxy, like, we haven't even heard any of what's going to happen with that storyline in that movie. Like, allegedly James Gunn's going to be back on that project. So I feel like the MCU still has a lot of good material that it can use to make a lot of good stuff. Like,
yeah, but I think but what I meant by the MCU needs to die meant the whole, like, these are the movies every single year that you have to watch to set up the big Avengers movie that's only really worth watching once unless it's the first one. Man, honestly, I feel like the payoff...
Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War and Endgame were such a strong payoff for watching those movies. That's the thing about it. I feel like it made it worth it. I can't watch... I've watched Endgame. I tried watching Endgame again, and I'm like...
I think I maxed out it twice for Endgame, but Infinity War, when it was still on Netflix, I would just throw that shit on. Just
Thor
to throw
Ragnarok,
It was
like
good.
I just need
Thor
more.
Ragnarok doesn't count.
I mean, that's not an
Thor
Avengers.
Ragnarok was so good.
It doesn't count because Thor Ragnarok is not the.
So
What
good.
I'm talking about is the whole like you have to watch the entire year's worth of Marvel movies to make whatever their big team up movie. Ragnarok wasn't the team up movie.
No.
That was just the third Thor movie.
Yeah.
It was
Like I'm
the good
talking
Thor
about like
movie.
I'm
Okay.
literally talking about your
More of
Avengers,
that.
your
Yeah.
Age of Ultron, into Infinity. Literally just the Avenger movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so outside of that, I think I get what you're saying, and I don't think that they were going to do that in this next phase. I feel like the coming phase was entirely going to be, let's flesh out some of these heroes we have established. Let's like introduce some new heroes. Let's like actually
integration.
Yeah, like they're definitely
integrating some with others, like bringing in one into another movie and others into other movie, and now you're talking about X-Men. That's the next
Yeah,
level.
because even like with the way they did it with Spider-Man and Black Panther, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. But
oh damn,
Yeah.
we
the way
haven't
they were
recorded
moving in
since
through
then.
like Civil War, like that was super clean. They didn't even have to have like an intro movie per se. It was more so just
Exactly.
like, here's a movie with somebody that you fucking know these guys.
Exactly. Like that's what I want. I don't need the whole big Avengers movie at the end, unless you just want to do a singular Avengers story. Like that's my
We
thing.
honestly don't need another Avengers movie.
No.
Honestly, I would love an Ultimates movie. Ultimates was the shit, and I would love some Ultimate. There's a bunch of other teams that I would love to see.
All right. Well, does anybody have a one more thing before we wrap? I think we had a pretty solid episode this week, if I say so myself. Okay, well, remember you can follow us all collectively around the internet, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. I am at Anton6 with 3 X's. Chris.
I'm Chef and Chris.
Jalen.
Squid Bishop.
Madrid.
Speedwagon X.
And Anthony. Like, where can people find you? Like,
Yo, plug everything.
Elite Board Game, eliteboardgame.com, at Elite Board Game on Instagram, eliteboardgame.com. Go check it out.
all right. This has been a Akuma Santi production. Until next time, keep it cheesy.